Well, what is up, drivers and subscribers, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are starting off at a park. We just finished up some rescues helping out the team, and we are getting ready to take on a flex route. So today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about a flex route, why the DSPs take them on, and what you need to know as a driver. So if you haven't already and you're new to the channel, do me a huge solid, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave me a comment down below if you learned something new. So we're gonna head back to the warehouse, go pick up our packages, and I'm gonna show you what that all looks like and what you should know when you go get your packages. Let's roll. So the first step is, once you get into the station warehouse area, obviously speed limit is 10 miles an hour for all the vans. So what we're gonna do is get ourselves set up in position to go pick up our packages. And that's gonna be on the other side of this warehouse. As you can tell, all warehouses will have two sides that they send packages out for vans to pick up and flex drivers to pick up. So what you see here on this side will also be on the other side. And so the rules are, if you haven't seen some of the other videos, when it comes to getting packages at the loading stations at the warehouse, there's no radio to be on, your hazard lights are supposed to be on, your driver window is supposed to be down, just so you can hear them if they're saying anything to you. And also the other #1 rule being, you have to have your headlights on. So as you can see, there's already a bunch of vans up there already, and I believe what I'm gonna do is just go up there and jump in line with them. There's no real time limit when you're getting your flex packages, so they're pretty chill. So let's get in there and go get our packages. Alrighty, so what you're seeing right now is the vans getting their packages, and what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna wait for them to finish up, and then we're gonna go grab our packages. Alright, so I know my numbers. What's up, brother? How's it been so far? Alright, so basically I'm gonna get my phone ready to pick up these packages. All the totes first. So what you see here, this 82, this is package number 82. That's our driver 8, and they're a little bit different with these. And so basically what I'm doing now that I'm bringing all the totes in, gonna look for my first tote, 0675. And this is telling me package 1 is in here. That's 31. Start with boxes. 16, 15, 11. So basically all I'm doing is I'm getting my first tote organized, and then the rest of the totes I can start working through and separating. Usually there's not this many totes, it's only like 2 or 3, and it's a bunch more packages than boxes, but it looks like we got a pretty good load. I've seen up to 88 so far, so let's see how much we get up to. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is, I don't need my phone for any of this. I'm just gonna set everything up in order. 10. So as you can see, everything's in order, and that's what I'm going to do with every tote right now. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then what I'm going to go through is number everything and label all the boxes. So let's get that done now. So all I'm doing is just putting everything in order, right? Because sometimes what's going to happen is it's going to start taking orders. It's going to start having us deliver from the beginning. Then it'll jump back to the end, to the very middle, to the back section, then back up to the front. It's just the way flex routes do the deliveries and the way the routes are set up. It's really funky. Oh my God! 8. This right here is going to save me so much time later that all I'm going to have to worry about is delivering. 38, 39. Now we're just trying to utilize as much time as we can because I know I'm getting to the nitty-gritty. So what I'm actually gonna do before I leave the warehouse right now, I'm gonna go ahead and organize the last tote of packages and get the rest of that stuff done. That way I can just pull whatever sequence of numbers I'm using at a time, put it in the front seat, and keep moving while I'm out delivering. So that way you're not searching for anything throughout the flex route, you know what I mean? So again, it is less stops usually than a full normal route. Obviously, there's a lot less stops. But the thing you need to take into consideration is because the stops are gonna be so far apart in time, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, all that stuff's gonna add up. It's very easy to get behind on a flex route. So you can get rescued from other drivers that are out on a regular route. They can come and pick up packages from you and help knock out some of that flex route, like you guys have seen me do before on the channel. And if I haven't put them out yet, I got plenty of videos already lined up about flex route, helping out drivers after our route, and all that good stuff. All right, and so like you see, most of the rack is filled up. Most of my boxes are all numbered. Most of my packages are all in order. I still have a few here that I can utilize here, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill that last section up, and then whatever I can't fit, I'll leave in this tote. That way I can just pull those packages up front when I'm ready to go and just keep going. And just like that, because we've organized everything, everything is in order. All of our boxes are numbered, right? Except this one, idiot. And this one. Like I was saying, because everything's numbered and we're ready to go, we have everything ready. All we gotta do is not drive like a maniac so everything doesn't end up everywhere. Alrighty, that being said, let's get this flex route going, baby. It is about 3:20. Let's get these deliveries going. So let's talk a little bit about why DSPs pick up flex routes for a second, to kind of enlighten you guys on why we do flex routes as far as DSP drivers. So what happens is Amazon will get a last minute influx of orders, right? And instead of sending them all out on flex route with like people in regular cars, the DSPs essentially get first dibs on the actual flex routes. So if a DSP doesn't have enough routes, or routes get dropped throughout a day for drivers, the DSP can essentially make up those routes with some flex routes for people. So essentially, the deliveries are pretty much the same as they would be for a normal route, right? They can be houses, they can be businesses, and it all can depend on when they order, right? And this is perfect for me to show you guys, I feel like, because I've done a flex route in another video, but it was after finishing up my route and just helping out another driver. So I wanted to show you guys kind of what the loadout process is and how it's different from a regular day. But like I said, it's not gonna be house, skip few houses, another delivery to a house, skip few, no, you're gonna go to different sections and subdivisions of town. It's gonna take a little more time. So it's all about knowing that going into it. That way you're not frustrated later, like how come I'm not moving so fast, or how come I'm not getting this route done as fast as I usually do. This is exactly why. So let's talk about the driver perspective and our thoughts and feeling on taking on these flex routes. Some drivers are going to tell you they like them, some drivers are going to tell you they hate them, and here's why. A lot of the times what happens is, like going back to what I said, when routes get dropped, so let's say you're scheduled for, let's say today's a Monday, for example. Let's say you know you have your shift coming up, and about an hour, 2 hours before your shift, they message you, hey, your route has been dropped. Go ahead and come in at a later time, or you're gonna be a standby person, kind of like a kind of like an extra person helping everybody out all day, right? Or what they'll do too is, lately Amazon's been having like a later shift, like a 12:30, 1 o'clock shift, where drivers come in later than the rest of the group, and they come in and just help sweep everybody, pick up packages, and help relieve the work off of everybody, right? So that can be another thing they tell you to do, is just go ahead and come in later and we'll set you up on a flex route, meaning one of these, right? So that's how they'll pick up work for you throughout the day. And basically what I did is I just took my first like 7 packages and put them up front, because I already cheated and saw that my first stops are my first few numbers in the beginning. Yeah, so like I was saying, some drivers, they'll tell you, yeah, I have no problem with these routes. I don't mind them, you know. It's no biggie. I like them because essentially they're easier. You don't have a full workload for the day, and it's not as much packages, right? Now on the opposite spectrum of why drivers hate these routes, because they tend to start later. And so like right now, for a perfect example, it's daylight savings time. And so some drivers really despise it because you come in later. Right here, looks like there's a house in the back is what it is. And of course, none of this traffic helps, right? So that's the thing, is when you start later and you get a later start, you're typically working later in the day, so you're gonna have to battle what everybody hates with doing delivery is the nighttime, because you know it can be a little more challenging. But we came prepared today and we got something for that. And I'm gonna definitely introduce you guys to what it is I'm talking about. That way you guys can take advantage of these and use these while you're on route. Well. What the fuck? And right now, basically, when we're stuck at a standstill like this, the app wants me to go ahead and just bust a U-turn and go back that way, which I'm not able to do, right? So I'm just gonna have to go around the block and go around. It's just what I have to do. Again, some things are gonna take you time, and when you're stuck in traffic, it's inevitable. There's nothing you can do. So another reason drivers hate flex routes is because it's a mystery. As opposed to when you have a route every day, you know more or less where you're going, what your route entails for the day. If it's a different city, you know what city you're going to, right? Or a different town, whatever that may be. With the flex routes, the thing that sucks is you don't know where you're going until you get the actual packages. That's one of the things that drivers do not like, is they don't know where they're going. They don't know how many stops they're gonna have, which we never know how many stops we're gonna have. But if you're somebody that's like myself and you can kind of guesstimate where you're gonna be at and what they're gonna give you, because you're consistently getting a certain amount of stops a day, you can kind of average more or less what you're gonna get. So I know pretty much every day I have about 200 stops, or closer to 250 if we're including the multi-stops. Damn! Yeah, so you could definitely kind of ballpark more or less what your day is gonna look like. But when it comes to a flex route, you have no idea. It can be 100 stops, it could be 40 stops, it could be 20 country stops, it could be 15 businesses. You'd really just never know. So just something to keep in mind when it comes to flex routes. Oh, there's somebody doing a flex route right there. So next we'll cover more or less how you get picked for a flex route. And so what I wanted to cover is kind of how you get picked for a flex route. Like I said, some routes can be dropped. For the most part, you can be like an extra person and they want to give you work, so the DSP will pick up a flex route. Ooh, that's very nice. Yeah, and so they pick up the route, and that way it'll give them more money coming in, but more things for more people to do, like the drivers. Next stop, 4 minutes. So we'll cover who gets picked and how do you get selected kind of for these flex routes. I will say it is random. It's never ever, oh, this person's gonna have 2 flex routes in the same week. It can happen, it's very rare. But yeah, it's just kind of random. Routes being dropped, maybe they brought in extra people, so they want to, you know, pay more people out, make more money for the DSP. That's all they got to do is pick up some flex routes. Like I said, they have priority over, you know, citizens and regular people who drive for a living. So the DSP can snatch those up first. So the next topic I wanted to cover is, how long do you have to be in Amazon in order to be comfortable taking on one of these flex routes? Honestly, I'm gonna be dead honest with you guys when I say because you deliver so much on the daily and you're around different areas and you're delivering to schools and businesses and restaurants all day, what's going to end up happening is you're more than likely going to deliver to houses that you've already seen before. Whether they're on your route, on a different route, you're going to deliver to different parts of town. So I already seen, I'm going to probably the most southern part of this area, and I'm going to the most northern part of town as well. So, and I'm hitting east and west. So I'm all over the place with this route. We have 83 stops, I think 89 packages. I'll have to put it up real quick so you guys know more or less. But yeah, so the work's gonna be consistent. We're battling the sun going down, so we're battling time. It's daylight savings time. It's starting to get dark about 5 p.m. So I am trying to move as quick as possible, keep everything a flow moving state. That way, you know what I mean? I'm not thinking, I'm not searching and wasting time throughout the day while I'm trying to get this route complete. So let me know if anything I'm telling you guys so far is making sense, and I'd love to hear from you other drivers out there, even drivers for different companies. Do you guys have things like this? I know it may not be to the extent of flex, I mean, but it can be like people coming in to pick up packages and alleviate some of the workload off you, kind of like we do, and we have rescues and we have helper routes, right? So I'd love to hear from you guys if you guys have anything like this. Do you have a shift where, let's say, majority of your group comes in early and then you come in later because there's more packages going out later or something in that situation? This one, you see what I mean? It's not just back-to-back deliveries. If it were, we could be done in 2 hours, but because we're going to different parts of town and running around, you're gonna take up time. Take our picture before we drop it. Hit our doorbell. Alrighty guys, it's that time for our very first ever subscriber and driver shout out on the channel here. Now, whether you're a subscriber or a driver that watches this channel, I want to start something really fun here that I thought of by giving you guys a shout out on some of the awesome comments you guys leave me. And I thought in return, since you guys leave such awesome comments, I wanted to give you guys shout outs in return. And the first one going out is going to be to Andrew Benson, who says every company should have a successful veteran of the position, teaching and training new people. Successful people learning from successful people. That's why I'm watching. Andrew, you're awesome, brother, and I can't thank you enough. And by all means, if you want to see your awesome comment on here, do me a solid, leave me a comment, and you never know which video it'll pop up in. With that being said, thank you again, Andrew Benson. See, it's just a perfect example. Like right now, I told you guys, the last stop was 4 minutes from the stop prior, right? This next one is 1 minute. So you'll get 4 minutes, 1 minute, 10 minutes. Like you got to be able to go with the motion and the app, you know what I mean? They're gonna be spread out, and that's just something you got to take into consideration when you do these routes. It's not gonna be clustered, which is what, you know, we love when it's residentials, because you could just bang so many out. That's why I was saying, if it was all together, we'd be able to do it maybe 2.5 hours, 3 hours, because we can hit about 40 stops an hour when it's all residential and we have everything set up like we do. But today's just gonna have to be one of those days where we take it stop by stop, make sure we're doing everything, we're not missing anything, jumping the gun on anything. I'm gonna stop right here so I don't block the stop sign up there. 7. See, it just skipped 5 for some reason. Remember I told you it's gonna jump around? Hi, kitty kitty. How are you? You fluffy. Hi. So it looks like we're skipping this one. And we're jumping ahead a few. So we're gonna take... So we'll take the next few and get these ready. Also, I'd love to hear from you drivers out there. If you work for Amazon, have you done flex routes? And I'd love to hear your opinion on flex routes. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Why and why not? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from all of you guys. Again, shout out to all of you guys subbing and commenting and just liking the videos lately. You guys have been going crazy and I appreciate you.
Yeah, boy.
Hello guys, Amazon, have a good one.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm very interested to see what the feedback is for this video, because you guys do not hold back. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know if you guys have been doing these routes. I don't mind them. Honestly, I don't mind any route they give me. I'm all about making the money, as I've told you guys. I work late night, I don't care. I'll keep delivering packages till the app kicks me out. And if you don't know, the Amazon app will kick you out after about 11 hours of work. 11 and a half for sure, to make you get back to your warehouse and station before your 12-hour mark. Trash week!
No! God, please, no!
I both love and hate trash week, and I'll tell you why. Because the stuff's usually in the way when you're trying to find parking in between when the cars are packed with...
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
When the streets are packed with cars. Ooh, I hear a baby. We are not gonna hit that doorbell, and we are not gonna make ourselves known. Because we are not gonna be the ones to upset that baby. Alright guys, I'm gonna knock out a few deliveries and I will get back to you guys once the sun starts going down, and I'll give you guys a little update here in a bit and charge the camera a little bit. Alrighty guys, update time. It is 4:56 right now. Our first hour we knocked out 23, so we're moving and grooving. We got 51 packages. As you can see, it's starting to get darker. First tip is always make sure your lights are on inside of the van, meaning in the back. Make sure your lights are always on, that way you're ready to go, you can see everything, and you don't get no last minute surprises like a dog that pops out of nowhere that's just chilling, right? Because that does tend to happen a lot at night, so something to be aware of. How we doing? Just one for you guys. Have a good one. Alrighty, so this is the damage so far. We got most of this rack cleared out. We are taking about 5-6 packages at a time, just so we have, and everything is going in order. Regardless of what I said, where I said it makes you work from the back and in the front and in the middle, right now it's actually working from the front back, so we'll take it. So my biggest tip when it comes to working at night is always follow your app. Your app's gonna put you in the right vicinity, and if you're unsure and you think you passed something, just stop where you're at, look down at the app. You can tell if your van is in front of where you're supposed to be, meaning a pinned building, you need to go back. The house is in back of you. If the house is still yet up in front of you, you still need to move up. But if the house is right next to you on either side, you're where you need to be. So one thing I always tell new drivers is definitely pay attention to your map. And as I've told you guys before, it's not always going to be perfect, but majority of the time it's going to put you in the vicinity. And that's enough to get you going. 41. And because we already grabbed them and put them in order, I'm literally just grabbing off the top every stop. I'm grabbing the package that's right on top because we already organized that stuff. No dogs. 13. Hello guys, Amazon, have a good one. So for me, I kind of feel like flex is a game because you're zigzagging all around town, right? You're doing it already anyway when you're doing regular delivery for Amazon. When you have a regular route, you already feel like you're zigzagging. But with these, because they're more spread out, you're hitting different spots of towns, you know what I mean? So it's not always residential. There's an apartment mix in there, a business, and you really don't know where you're going. So you can't really game plan on, you know, what's gonna happen or, you know, how fast it's gonna be for you or how long it's gonna take in that sense. Like I tell you guys all the time on this channel, work is work, baby. This is the one with the dogs. I've already been here. And it's an easy drop over the gate. Hi, pup. How are you? Oh, I know. I'm not going in there. Make sure we put you in the picture. Bye. Hi, pup. Definitely don't want to get eat up by them. So one thing I do when it always comes to nighttime, I pretty much leave my flashers on all the time. When I'm in subdivisions and residential areas, if I'm not on a busy street, I leave my hazards on pretty much majority of the night. Basically until I'm done delivering. That way everybody can see me, there's no surprises. Your yellow flashing lights are pretty much lighting up everything around us. So they do help in that sense. 33333, all threes. Interesting. Hello guys, Amazon, have a good one. And you really get used to the app, but one thing you'll want to pay attention to at nighttime especially. This is one thing I use quite a bit, and one thing I definitely recommend you use if you're not already. So when it comes to, okay, we're gonna turn on a block right now, right? We're gonna turn down a residential area. And when you are close to the house will enlarge on the map and it'll start zooming in, letting you know you're in the area. You watch out for people on bikes, you see what I mean? You can barely see him. He's wearing all black too, that doesn't help. But that's alright. That's why we pay attention. Hazards are back on, letting those other cars know we're here, right? They know we're delivering. So just from the time frame, this one says 7:30 to 2:30. This could probably be a school, a restaurant, a breakfast restaurant that closes early type thing, you know what I mean? I think it might be going to a school.
You serious?
I'm about to find out. And we're in a school zone, as you can tell. So no problem. I'll cancel that out. Hello guys, Amazon, have a good one. Hi pup, how are you? Have a good one, you got it. So anytime I have over 3 minutes to the next stop, I always put the phone on the charger. That's definitely something I recommend you guys do and get in the habit of, because there's nothing worse than your phone dying. Alrighty guys, so as we talked about, I'm gonna give you some tips to working at nighttime. Oh my god, there goes an all black cat. Isn't that bad luck? Very superstitious. Sorry, I get distracted. Alright, here's what we're doing. I'm going to show you guys a huge tip you guys should be using when it comes to working at nighttime. And this can be regardless if it's a flex route or if it's just your regular route. These are two things that are going to help you big time when it comes at night. Number one, this door is always open, right? Big thing is, so you can see out of that clearly, so you can see out of that front windshield a whole lot better. Close that door. Close that door. And I don't know how much you can tell, but I can see a lot better with just this door closed, because the reflection from the light inside of the windshield is bouncing off, and it makes it harder to see cars when you're turning corners and stuff because it's so dark. Yeah, so you'll definitely want to pay attention to your surroundings even more when it's dark. And like I said, this back door being open makes it a little harder to see out here. So I suggest closing that thing. That way you can see everything you're driving up to. So you can use the light on your phone to help see around at night, right? Especially roads like this that are super dark. Let me show you how a $20 investment is going to be a huge game changer for you, especially for delivering at night. Now let me introduce you to these clip-on lights that I use every night when I'm out delivering. I can't pronounce the name brand. I think it's Melbury, something like that. $20 on Amazon. Look at how bright these things are. They're clipped onto my vest. And now, this dark street, I can see anywhere I'm going. This is a huge difference maker in being able to go through these trees and stuff and not tripping on stuff. And because they're clipped onto the vest, they're lighting up the floor in my walkway. It kind of works out because I could just leave them on and the seat belt literally covers them as I have them clipped to my vest, and they're magnetic and they're just clipped over my pockets in my vest, facing outwards and down. When I tell you this is one of the hugest game changers for me, I have a hard time seeing at night especially. So this is a game changer for me. Now, I wear glasses, and so, you know, I have to focus a little more when I'm looking at what I'm trying to focus on. But for the most part, these little LED lights are a game changer. When I tell you you can't go wrong, you gotta get these. I'll throw a link in the description as well, that way you guys can go and grab yourself some, or maybe you grab something similar. But these things, I know I used to try the headband. I kind of feel like I'd freak people out when I show up on a headband to somebody's house. But these, as the lights are lower, it helps light up the floor for me, and I don't have to worry so much about tripping or stepping on a curb or off a curb wrong, right, and hurting myself. Now the whole walkway is lit for me everywhere I walk, and it makes it easier to scan the packages. And it'll help you take better pictures. I don't know if you saw that, but the map just zoomed in on the app, telling me I'm right where I need to be. See, and then using these lights, you don't have to have your flashlight on your phone or turn your light on to take a picture every time. So it's just a time saver. It's something you can reuse over and over and over. These lights I've been using for about 2 years. And I just showed another driver I met up with right now as he was delivering in an apartment building I was delivering to. He's like, man, I don't know how you see at night. And I showed him these lights. He's all, what the hell? He pulled up Amazon and ordered them on the spot. It's a difference maker. He's like, man, you're so prepared in any situation. I like to game plan. I like to think of situations that would make things easier for me, right? I'm out here 10, 11, 12 hours sometimes. So I gotta make sure I got everything I need. And I'm not looking and scrambling for the last second to find what I need. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You know what I mean? So we do have 2 mopeds up ahead. And that's one good thing about keeping the window down when working at night. If somebody says something or calls you, or you can hear cars coming and stuff, it's really nice to keep the window open, because you get an idea of what's around and what's happening. These 2 little dogs were just chasing the guys on the moped. So yeah, always keep a window open so you can hear your surroundings and everything going on around you. And again, your mind's already working nonstop, so just help make it easier for yourself. Get your packages in order. Simplify everything for yourself, you know what I mean? So you're not worrying about everything at the last second. You're not searching and you're not spending time looking for packages. It's right where you need it to be. It really is a win-win. They light up the package when you scan at night because it's so hard to see. Really, in situations like this, look how dark these roads are. I don't know how much of the camera is gonna pick this up, because I know the camera has a hard time working at night and getting, you know, all the details. But just so you can get an idea of how dark it is out here, it's pretty dark. So again, your hazards, your flashlights on your vest, your flashlight on your phone, all that stuff is gonna help you in the long run. Look how easy it is to scan with these lights. And I know a lot of people have questions about working at night. How can I get faster and stuff, right? Really, the more and more you do this job, you're just gonna naturally get faster. Nobody can really teach you how to be faster but yourself. Everybody can give you ideas and tips that they use and stuff like I do. But for the most part, you comprehending the app, you understanding where you put your packages, the way you set everything up, it's gonna be the difference maker for you. And really the factor of having an easy day or not, you know what I mean? All this stuff that I'm doing, I showed you in the beginning, loadout, we organized right away. I knew I was gonna work later into the night, especially, you know, with the time change and the sun going down earlier. So I knew I was bringing my lights today. And once I found out I had a flex route, I was like, oh, this is even better. You know, this is kind of perfect. This is a perfect example to be able to make a video for, you know, not only you guys, but for people that are newer, that are nervous about delivering, or maybe you're gonna be starting to flex routes for your DSP, because that's a real common thing. DSPs and flex routes are a real thing. Like I said, they have priority. It's a first come first serve basis for the DSPs, and then it goes out to actual flex drivers. My friends, I would love to hear from you in the comments about this video. Let me know what you think about these LED lights. Let me know if you want me to do a video about my 3 comfiest pair of shoes that you can use as a delivery driver for Amazon. And hint, hint, they're all available from Amazon. 2 are actually free that you get that you can utilize every day from Zappos. And the other set is another set that I recommend, that I went ahead and dropped like serious money on these for, because they're so comfortable. And boy, oh boy, are they comfy. I feel like I walk on clouds all day. And none of this, none of the lights, none of the shoes, none of the items I'm gonna be bringing up and showing you to make your job easier, am I sponsored by, or am I being paid by these companies to tell you about? These are things that help me every day, guys. I BS you not. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I don't work for these companies. Like I said, I work for a company that works for Amazon. I mean, let's be real. But I do. I want to help you guys in every way possible. I have plenty of video ideas. I have plenty of videos that I've recorded already for you guys. So when I tell you, you guys are going to have your hands full with me in the future, you guys are going to have your hands full with me in the future. Because I do. I want to bring topics and ideas I haven't seen covered that I think you should know about, just like this flex route, and the different tips you can utilize while doing them, and taking these tips to utilize and do them on your everyday routes. Let me know in the comments what tips you recommend people use for working at night. Hello guys, Amazon, have a good one. That's why we make ourselves known. I know some of you guys are gonna be like, you know what, I don't even use any of this, I just know where I'm going, just because you're paying attention to the map. And again, kudos to you, because I totally get it, man. I totally get it. Also, maybe you're somebody who doesn't want to use these lights and clip-ons to your vests. Here's another option. This right here is a flashlight. 3 different modes. And if you need to go in emergency mode, you could do that too. Yeah, I think this was like 12 bucks on Amazon. During the winter when it's cold, you better believe your ass I wear that thing every day. And at nighttime, I slap it on, but I have a hard time seeing here through the windshield because it bounces off, so I do have to turn it off every time I get in the van. Which is why I bought these clip-ons, because now the clip-ons, like I said, they're on, but the seatbelt covers them. So they're not in the way and they're not interfering with glare off the windshield for me. So it's really not a big deal, which is why I really prefer the lights over the actual beanie. And even drivers that see the beanie, they're like, oh, that's a light, huh? They realize it like in the midst of talking and having conversation. They're like, is that a light on your head? And like, it is a light. They're like, that's really neat. Where'd you get that? The company we work for. You delivered it to me. And I know what some of you guys are probably gonna say, don't you feel weird walking around with these lights on you at night? Like, aren't you worried about what people think about you? Hell no, I don't worry about what nobody thinks about me. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know I don't care. Just from the way I edit my videos, make fun of myself, I'm able to laugh at myself. That's the way you gotta be in life. I don't care about what other people think. I don't care about people's thoughts of me. And for those of you who know me in person, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I could give two It's just my personality and how I get down. So right now I'm gonna close the door. Were you able to tell a difference? Let me know in the comments if you're able to tell a difference when I close the door just through the camera lens. And let me know if the camera's actually picking up this stuff, if you're able to see it pretty decently or not. I'm still gonna put this video out. Who knows, it can be all black and the last 20 minutes I'm just talking and you're just listening to my voice. I hope that's not the case. I really do. So like I was saying, my friends, I'd love to hear from you drivers and subscribers out there. Let me know your thoughts about this video. Is there anything I missed that I could have covered? What tips do you have for people? And as always, I appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna get the last of these stops knocked out. And by all means, if you learned something in this video today, or if you just found it entertaining, do me a huge solid. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment down below. And I will see you guys in the next one.